These are the Turks and Caicos Islands. They are a British overseas territory just outside of the Bahamas, vaguely near the coast of Florida. And the Turks and Caicos have a soccer league. This league is called the Provo Premier League, and all 7 teams of the Provo Premier League play out of this location right here. The Turks and Caicos Football Association headquarters located on the island of Providenciales. Now this is all well and dandy, probably makes sense. The Turks and Caicos are not a wealthy collection of islands, and clubs on them are probably just as not wealthy. Therefore, all playing out of a central location makes a lot of sense. However, I recently took a trip to the Turks and Caicos Islands, but not Providenciales. I actually visited this island, which is called Grand Turk. It is a beautiful island, has lots of salt fields, and it's just a beautiful island. But they have no soccer team. So, using my plenty of experience, only 200 hours, in Football Manager 24, I have decided to tackle this issue. I will be starting a series where I am the head coach of the Grand Turks Football Club, based on the island of Grand Turk. And my goal is essentially to see how far I can take this club. The CONCACAF Champions Cup contains 3 teams from the Caribbean. These 3 teams are decided through this competition, the CONCACAF Caribbean Cup. However, the CONCACAF Caribbean Cup has 8 teams that qualify for this competition automatically, and 2 teams that come from less developed nations. And how do these teams get decided? Well, they have to play in this competition, the CONCACAF Caribbean Shield. And this is the competition to which teams from the Turks and Caicos qualify. So in order to win the CONCACAF Champions Cup, I have to win the CONCACAF Caribbean Shield, or finish in the top 2. I then have to finish in the top 3 of the CONCACAF Caribbean Cup, and that is to just qualify for the CONCACAF Champions Cup. Then in that competition, I have to play teams like Tigres, Vancouver, Seattle, Monterey. So this is probably not a short series. It may even be a series that I don't finish. My biggest achievement in Football Manager is taking Galway United from the 2nd Division of Ireland and winning a top flight league trophy with them, which was not that difficult. So I'm not exactly sure how far I'm going to get with this, but I do know for a fact that Grand Turks is a lovely island, and I honestly think it's a shame that they don't have their own team. So here we are, Grand Turks Football Club. A little bit about the Provo Premier League. Like a lot of leagues in the Americas, they play an opening stage and a closing stage. The 8 teams, consisting of the 7 teams that are currently in the Provo Premier League, plus our Grand Turks FC, will play 14 games, 2 versus each team, and that will happen twice, once in the opening stage and once in the closing stage. The champions of each will meet in a grand final, unless they are the same team, in which no grand final will be played, and they are just decided to be the champion. Those champions will get a spot in the CONCACAF Caribbean Shield, the one that I mentioned earlier. The players for Grand Turks Football Club are not real players. These are all generated by the game. So I did not build this team, but this is the team that I will be inheriting. And we will see how far we can take this group. All of these players are from the Turks and Caicos, as well as we do have an under-17s team. These are all from the Turks and Caicos as well. In the beginning, I do want to kind of prioritize the Turks and Caicos, as I will also be coaching the Turks and Caicos national team. I haven't really done a national team save before, so we'll see how this goes. It might go great, it might not. We'll find out. So I do want to prioritize playing players from the Turks and Caicos. Eventually, I will want to branch out and sign players from all across CONCACAF. But obviously, I want to beef up the Turks and Caicos. So for the first couple of seasons, I want to prioritize players from the Turks and Caicos and perhaps the surrounding islands as well. In terms of badges, I am going to use what is suggested for Grand Turks Football Club, which is a National A license and a Sunday League player playing experience. And we will begin. Grand Turks Football Club's Hire Cool. So this is the team, this is the jersey, this is the badge, which I spent about 5 minutes making. So we're just going to roll with that. All right. The Grand Turks Football Club, like a lot of teams in the Provo Premier League, are amateur. I have seen in testing that for some reason the Provo Premier League is a very financially lucrative league eventually. Well, financially lucrative in comparison to the Turks and Caicos. But within 5 to 6 years, a lot of the teams will go semi-professional. So that's kind of something to look forward to as well. Our home ground will be the Parade Ground, which has 1,000 capacity. Eventually, it is a goal of mine to create a new stadium for us, because also in past testing, I've seen that a lot of times the Grand Turks Football Club has to play on the island of Providenciales in the TCI FA headquarters fields, and it would be kind of cool to be able to play on home turf a little bit. And this is just a quick look. I'm not quite sure what formation I want to play yet. It kind of depends on the team, who we will see shortly. So this is our first team. We have 19 players in our first team squad. And here's our under 17s, who has a 27-year-old. I'll deal with that later. We do seem to be a little top heavy. I'm noticing quite a few strikers and attacking center mids, and only 2 wingers. So that'll be fun to figure out. But there is a lot of youth in this team, and we do have some very good players. Our best player is this guy, Brad Sterling, who is a poacher with some decent finishing, some really good finishing actually. But a lot of our team is going to look like this guy, Steve Brennan, kind of a middle-of-the-road person who does have great natural fitness, might I add. We do also have some pretty decent young players like Ryan Patterson, who at 16 looks to be one of our best players. So there's kind of an exciting little blend of youth in this team. And so I will spend a little bit trying to figure out kind of what I want to do with this team. Kind of the lack of wingers is kind of throwing me through a loop. So I'll get back to you when I figure something out. Alright, so this is the formation that we are going to probably start out running. Just a simple 4-4-2, trying to play it safe. A major problem that I am realizing putting this team together, well, there's 2. One is a lack of talent in defense, and two of our best players are both right attacking midfielders. So I'm not really sure what to do about that. I'm gonna start out running Heaton on the right mid spot. Patterson, my assistant coach wants me to run Patterson. Patterson is a lot better of a defensive player than Heaton is. But I think with this formation, I think I want my wingers to be a little more attack focused. So I think I'm going to start running Heaton over Patterson. But we'll just kind of see how that goes. Another major issue is we only have one striker on the roster over 6 foot, and it is this man, Max King, who is 16. Max at 6'6" has 6 heading. So I'm not really sure how that's even possible. I mean, he's 6'6", you just kind of let it hit you at that point. So obviously he's going to get some aerial training to try to improve this. Also for bravery, just kind of not things you really want in your target forward. But like Brad Sterling's 5'9", and Carl Dyer is 5'7", and those are our two other best strikers. So we kind of don't really have another option. I do have two other kind of versions of this. We have this one, which is a little more attacking, get the wing backs further up the field. And we have this one, which is more defensive. When I play this, Patterson will start. Because Patterson, if I pull this up, Patterson is a great defensive winger, like I mentioned earlier. But yeah, so that's what we're going to rock, I think, for at least the beginning with this team. I'll probably also run a very similar formation, probably similar to this one, for the Turks and Caicos, because I'm really expecting us to get bullied internationally. So I kind of want a defensively sound formation, and you can't really beat a 4-4-2 for that. So yeah, so primary goals for recruitment: center mid, defense. That's really what I'm worried about. Finding a left winger and a target forward would be great, but really I'm worried about center mid and defense. So I will check back if I find anyone that I like. But yeah, just a quick update. I went around to a couple of the other islands, places like Anguilla, British Virgin Islands, things like that. Looked for some players to join on trial. Most of them rejected me, but 4 of them did not. We have a center mid, a center defender, and 2 wingers. The wingers weren't really quite what I was looking for, but I mean, like I said, we don't really need another right winger, but this guy can also play center mid. Can't really play the positions we would want in a center mid, but he can play center mid, which is kind of an upgrade for us. This is the one that I'm really, really hoping for, though. I mean, he's 19. The jumping reach is actually pretty solid. The strength is not, but it's an upgrade. So these are the kind of players that we're going to have to deal with for a bit. This guy is 35, but he can kind of play the box-to-box. So, you know, beggars can't be choosers. So I'm going to try to get these guys signed up to contracts, and we will hope. A lot of the problems is that a lot of the players that we would want are either really old and not good, or they play for a team like Academy Eagles, who are semi-professional. And so their players are good, but they're on contracts, so I can't really sign them. I mean, they have some, but like these aren't the kind of players that I'm really looking to sign. You know, players like this. These are players I'm looking to sign, but they're on contracts. So, and I mean, just out of curiosity, oh, I mean, we can't play him, or can't pay him, but we may as well try. Oh, yeah, there we go. So that's kind of the problem right now I'm running into, is that the players I want to sign don't want to play for me. So we might just have to kind of make do with what we have. I'm going to try to... So we don't actually start playing until closer to October. So I may kind of take a little bit of a pause and try to figure some stuff out before we hit the season. Maybe even try... Yeah, I can. To arrange some friendlies or something to get a good look at the team, what I'm working with. So if I do that, I will let you know. So we have made 1 signing so far. I'm only a few days into the future here. But we have Junior Paul. He is 6 foot, 13 heading, 5 jumping range. Again, you're 6 foot. You don't really need the jump. But anyways, He likes big matches too. He's more of a poacher, but he can play target forward, kind of. And I think he's a bit of an upgrade on Max King, right? Yeah, a little bit. So we'll see how that goes. He is free, so can't really, go wrong with that. All right, I have made 3 new transfers since I last spoke. We have Miltoin Mercer, who can play winger, which is intriguing if we do decide to change the formation. But for now, he will be an advanced forward. We also signed Raymond Niles, who says he is a winger, but is more likely going to play either winger on the right. God forbid something happened to one of our 2 right wingers, or as a box-to-box. I know that's not really his kind of thing, but he's going to have to cope, I guess. And last but not least is Joel Fahey, who is the 35-year-old, but the dude is a good box-to-box midfielder. So, yeah. Additionally, we did decide on a new roster for some upcoming games for CONCACAF Nations League C. We are in Group 3 with Dominica and the U.S. Virgin Islands. So we are going to play, I believe, 2 of those games. Oh, no, sorry. We play Dominica and then a friendly against St. Martin. So those games are coming up soon. So yeah, so that's just a quick early September update. So the first game in this save actually isn't going to be a Grand Turks FC game. It's actually going to be a Turks and Caicos game. Our first game is against Dominica. This is the lineup we're going to start, which includes, if you notice, Ryan Patterson. We are going to play kind of an asymmetrical. I wanted to sit 8 back, but the star player is Billy Forbes, and I kind of just wanted to let him cook. He could also play advanced forward for me, but I'll make that switch if need be. They're lacking in match sharpness. Okay, well, they'll cope. Yeah, I don't think there's really anything I'm going to be able to say to really get them motivated. I am going to adjust my camera and all this. And let's see where this goes. We are wearing the light blue and white stripes, which is a nice jersey, I might say. Playing against Dominica, I don't think we're favorites in this one. I think we're honestly favorites. We might be favorites against the U.S. Virgin Islands, but I don't think I'm not coming into this with a lot of hope. So we're just gonna see what's going on. As you can see on the bottom, I'm also looking at a lot of these players. I take back what I said about not being favored against Dominica. We're actually doing great. 4 minutes in, Billy Forbes scores. Billy Forbes is the guy for the Turks and Caicos. He actually used to play for my local team, and the dude was solid. And he currently plays for SWA Sharks, which is kind of a bummer. But I think in the... For Turks and Caicos, I think really it's get the ball to Billy Forbes and pray. So they're playing a 5 at the back against us, which is interesting, given that we are the Turks and Caicos. I've spent a lot of time more with Grand Turks trying to get them set up and kind of just threw this team together. But this is our first look at Paul, one of our new signings. We actually signed him from SWA Sharks. That's not going to happen much probably at the beginning of the save. Solid corner and solid clearance. Okay. The stands are pretty empty. Okay, I'm saying it now. We're winning the group. We're getting promoted. We're going to League B. I'm saying it now. Ryan Patterson scores. Yeah, I know Billy Forbes is. So Billy Forbes is technically out of position. He technically can't play left midfield. He can play left wing, and he can play striker, and he can play right wing. I don't really care. I don't know why Paul wasn't up there for the corner, but I'm not going to worry about that. Oh, I thought Patterson was getting another one. Who knows? If Patterson plays well for the Turks and Caicos, oh my goodness, we are doing really well. If Patterson does well for the Turks and Caicos, I might reconsider benching him. But the Turks and Caicos also play with his natural position, and Grand Turks does not. So I'm honestly happy we scored. I'm not sure how the rest of this game is going to go. It says they were playing with a lower tempo, which is, again, strange given that we are the Turks and Caicos. But ooh. Okay, it's fine. Great save. Everything's okay. Now, what I have noticed is there's not a ton of height in the Turks and Caicos, so corners kind of scare me. Well, maybe I shouldn't be scared. I mean, I'm genuinely shocked with how well this is going. I honestly kind of thought that the Turks and Caicos was going to be like a long-term thing before we were really hitting any success. I thought, we'd squeak out some wins, maybe against like a British Virgin Islands, U.S. Virgin Islands. I didn't think we were going to be competing out of the gate, and maybe it's a bit early. I'm 41 minutes into the first game. Billy Forbes. I mean, we're competing. We're coming up on halftime. Oh, please just hold out until halftime. This would be a killer right here. Get it out, please. Please, please, please. Okay. All right. Please, guys. Okay. Well, that's brutal. Not what you want to see right before half. Yeah, I don't want to watch that again. We've had a lot of shots. I'm happy. Okay, everyone's happy. Cool. If they get a lot of pressure, like it seems like they were starting to at the end of the second, I'm going to make the switch with Billy Forbes. I was kind of hoping that, well, we're in there half early. We scored 3 minutes in the first half. Let's see how we do at the beginning of the second. Well, that wasn't great. Okay. I think we make that change. I think we bring. I hate to do this to Paul because I really wanted to see him play more, but I think we do this. What are they concerned about? Okay, cool, whatever. I think we do this and just let Forbes cook up top, and try to sit in a little more. I think I leave that for now. I am concerned that the tempo isn't great, so I'm going to also bump that up. And we're going to see how that goes. We're still up on the XG as well, which is comforting. Yeah, this kind of 8-2 of 4. This 8 back is kind of what I was hoping for. Ooh, I wasn't expecting balls over the top, though. Okay, that is fair, honestly. I was getting a little big in my britches a little too early. Yeah, let's... My outside backs are on Mark Tighter. Are they not? They are not. That is a huge misplay. Okay, now that should be better. I don't know why Billy Forbes is back there. Is he on? I don't think there's VAR in this. I don't think the Turks and Caicos has VAR. Oh, man. I don't think the Turks and Caicos has VAR, so. Great, another corner. We're in control of the match. I don't believe you. Oh, what team does Turbyfield play for? Oh, he's on the contract, though. Never mind. Can we counter? No, we're going to stop the ball. Cool. Oh, maybe. That is our center defender. Oh, my goodness. That was our center back up on the left wing. I don't know what he was doing up there, especially that he's the right center back, but I'll take it, I guess. What do I want to do here? Can you? Yeah, you can. He's looking a little tired. He is playing every second he is healthy. I don't love these. You're also kind of tired. Okay, here's the play. We do that. You move into midfield. And we'll give that a shot. Couple changes just to keep legs fresh. That's not what I told you to do. Hold on a second. There we go. Okay. Honestly, if you told me before the game it was going to be a draw, I would have been thrilled. With the hindsight that we were up 2-0, it's a little bit of a bummer, but I'll take a point. I'll take a point. Top of the division right now. I really do think we're going to do well against the U.S. Virgin Islands. I'm going to pray for an upset over Dominica because I mean, where are we in the world? That's not helpful. I mean, we were up on XG, possession, shots. I mean, that's kind of all you can ask for, right? I mean, where are we? 205? Yeah, and U.S. Virgin Islands is technically below us. So, where is Dominica? 183. So, I mean, we did well. Not really a game that we were supposed to win. So, yeah, I agree. Build on the draw. So, yeah, a good first game. We do have... So, an unfortunate thing is not a lot of teams want to play us in friendlies. So, I had to schedule 2 friendlies against our U17s just for match fitness. So, one of them does, unfortunately, fall on the 10th, right in the middle, with a lot of players on international break. So, I honestly might cancel that friendly. Can I do that, actually? Yeah, cancel friendly. So we will play against Flamingo on the 17th and Grand Turks FC U17s. So I might let you guys go until we get to this friendly, and then we will call that a day, I think, with the setup for this save. Okay, this is literally like 2 seconds later, but I just got these notifications. Our very own Ryan Patterson, 16 years old, 2007. Jesus Christ. He is the youngest ever player and youngest ever goal scorer for the Turks and Caicos. So that's good. That's the kind of precedent I want to set as a coach. But yeah, just 2 little cool articles real quick. All right, welcome back. It's actually the next day. I ended up playing both friendlies. Neither of them were particularly interesting. This was kind of a boring 1-1 draw. Alistair Heaton scored, of course, to make my life more difficult and give me a selection nightmare on that right side. But, yeah, Buckland and Paul missed their penalties. I ended up making this a penalty shootout just because I could, frankly. And then we played the U17s, and of course we beat them 5-1. It was 1-0 at half, which I was not super thrilled with. Patterson scored, of course. Had to make my life a little more difficult. But Reese Bates with the man of the match, which is not something I was really expecting, but I'm not complaining. In terms of Turks and Caicos, there was another friendly as well, which was a 0-4 loss to St. Martin, which is really not great. Really not great. So, kind of bummed about that one. No one really played particularly well. But it is what it is, right? But yeah, so that is gonna pretty much be it for today. This is gonna be the team, well, actually not quite this team, but the team that we roll into the season with. For this season, I kind of just want to stay afloat. The board, I believe, wants us to win. I don't know that that's going to happen, but we'll see. Eventually, my long-term goals for the save, there's 3. I want to win the CONCACAF Caribbean Shield, the first step towards progressing in the CONCACAF Club Championship ladder. My second goal is to make the CONCACAF Champions Cup. That means I need to finish in the top 3 of the Caribbean Cup, which means I need to be in the top 2 of the Caribbean Shield. Kind of the next step on that. Finally, my long-term goal of this save is to sign Jesus Ferreira. I mean, this guy, he's the Pirate of the Caribbean, you know? He's got to, at some point, play in the Caribbean. I think. That's my opinion. So this is someone that I'm really going to be trying to bring to the Turks and Caicos because I think it would be funny. So, yeah, going to add him to the short list indefinitely. But yeah, that is all for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this first episode, this kind of setup episode for the rest of the save. And when we come back, we will be starting the opening stage. So, thank you. Bye-bye.